Hello and welcome back. We are back live on stream. I am Jun Chan, and today we're back on our Haskell project where we are not developing much. The recap from the past sessions is that we basically were sort of spending time trying to figure out how to build, accelerate, and specifically the accelerate that works on the GPU in Windows, because that's what I'm using for streaming. And haven't really fought this particular type of battle before, and I think I wanted to give it a shot. And well, I definitely get served because it's the 8th stream, I think, and yeah, we haven't. I mean, we've made progress, but we haven't yet built it. So the recap is that the path that we were following until last stream was something that seems fairly common in trying to do Haskell on Windows, which is to use the msys2 environment, and it comes with the pacman package manager from Arch Linux, and it works quite well, and we get quite far with it, except that we ran into an issue, which was that we couldn't. Basically, it seemed that GHC or Cabal was the 32-bit version, and when he was trying to call out to some DLLs during build time, there were some errors coming up. Since the build time setup is fairly complex, that matters. It probably doesn't matter in other projects, but for us it did. Let me, in fact, bring this back into scope here. And so specifically, we solved some problems, so that was good. But right, the problem that we had, and it came up when we were just trying to build like the basic NVIDIA device query executable, which is a fairly it exists in the SDK too, but that's the Haskell bit, and I guess it's useful to verify whether things work or not. And when we ran it with Cabal Run, actually it didn't work, because it said this error seems to be when a Win32 binary calls out to a 64-bit DLL, and that didn't work out. However, when we installed it, then we were able to run it. But then later on, we came across a similar error when we were further down in the build. Then it was this other 64-bit DLL that we couldn't actually build. And so at this point, I realized that there would be an ongoing problem with having a 32-bit version of GAC. And I started looking at whether what would be the way to get a 64-bit binary. And it looks like all of the sort of some of the common ways, like Haskell platform in particular, they used to distribute 64 bits binaries, but they don't anymore. And so what seemed to be the way that people get a 64 binary for GHC and the Haskell platform in general these days is through Stack. And Stack is something that I've been sort of tiptoeing around at the beginning. And I suppose because it seemed like what's in the air is to basically look at Cabal 3 as a decent replacement for Stack for most things, but it kind of escaped me that it's one of Stack's superpowers, so to speak, is that it installs GHC, and it seems like it does have a 64-bit version of GHC as part of its of the GHC environment that it provides. So we opened up basically a new pathway to try and build. It's still possible that we go back to the tip of this pathway, right, and try and find out whether we could actually solve it. But and the reason why I speak in those terms is because we went back to Stack, and I need to do a few incantations, the usual incantations, to be able to call it. And stack build, well, worked up to a certain point. It did install GHC 64-bit, so we're not bumping into the same errors. We also did what I sort of glossed over earlier, is that I did mention it in passing, but that we did some fixes for the Cuda library, which seemed, I'm not sure how this came to be, but there seems to be some differences in the foreign C types that are imported in the driver, and that caused some error. It's weird because it's not reported by anyone but I imagine that not many people do Cuda and Windows these days with Haskell. But we fixed it, and then when we came across the same errors in stack, then we simply had to point to our fork that I haven't yet pushed as a PR or anything, and that allowed us to go a little bit further, but we bumped into another error. So it seems like, if we consider that we have two pathways open now to, and actually I should visualize this just a tiny bit here. Fix Cuda 10 build. We did fix the serial long with actual type serial long. That's the bit that we fixed in the Cuda driver, in the Cuda package. And then, right, so it seems like we've opened up a new pathway, and I should show that. So there's the MSys2 package pathway, and actually I think that this is going to work. This is true for some of the other, the other pathway that we've explored. And now we're trying the stack pathway, and we're encountering some new things. So let's see what we can solve on this stream, knowing that one of the things that we've been doing while there's build compile time and all those things is like we haven't been playing doing sort fights. Like this. It's quite fun to do a sort fight while it compiles. This is very true for Haskell, isn't it? Like lots of sorts fight going on. But what instead we've been doing is like we've been looking at the accelerate code and trying to get familiar with the API, understanding how the NBody problem physics equation gets translated into code, and all of these things that mean that we're not just with our feet dragging in the mud of fixing builds and Windows related things. We also have our head a little bit in the clouds of beautiful Haskell and math. So we'll probably continue doing that, but let's start by taking a look at what is our current error in our plate. The next thing that we bump our feet on in the mud. So it's accelerate LLVM that has an issue, and it's about not being able to load libllvm DLL. Okay, so let's see what we have in our path, and let's see like one of the, I think we've installed LLVM version 9, I believe, while we were exploring the other pathway, like LLVM 9. So I think this should still be accessible and still be on the path and all of these things in here in the MinGW bin folder. So let's see if we have a libllvm DLL in there. Oh wow, ls is taking this amount of time. That is not right. Okay, wow. Well, it's not right, but I suppose that's the world we live in. liblvm. Yeah, it is here. So what then? So it means that, right. Yes, of course. So one of the things in Stack, I mean, one of the advantages, I guess, with Stack and Windows, and actually, I suppose we should move this down into the MSys2 pathway section, and then start a new one for Stack. And yeah, one of the things coming from this side of the world is that it's kind of it feels containerized. It's kind of sandbox, if you like. It's not really containerized as aka LXC or Docker, but it's containerized as in yeah, sandbox. And so that means that in fact, when I think we need to reinstall the stuff that we've installed when we were doing MSys2 inside the Stack sandbox. And I think there's a special command to do that. So let's go check it out. Developing on Windows. And right, stack exec -- and pacman is how we're going to do this. So let's do it. Stack exec -- pacman, and then we'll you know what, we have an incantation for this, and it's all the things. I mean, pkg config, probably we don't need. libffi, I think we would have bumped into it already. Toolchain, oh right, I see. Right. So what happens there is that we have installed LLVM9 from an archive, because it's no longer this old version is no longer available through the MinGW64 pacman registry. So we should have this pkg somewhere in our path, and I think we need to do -u in order to run it. And well, the thing is that I don't know whether we're going to be able to see it from the sandbox, but let's try it. It's here indeed, and that's the right one, and we did check the signature, so let's go for it. And let's hope that this relative path is going to be visible, and it is visible, and that's wonderful. So we say yes. And so here we see that if we'd executed this from not inside the Stack sandbox, it would have told us that it's already installed, because we already installed it. So, oh, actually it installs libffi for us, and yeah, that's lovely. I don't know if we're going to need the toolchain at some point or not. We did need that for, actually I think to access the CPP, C preprocessor. I think maybe make, or just GCC, I think actually. But I suppose, I suspect that Stack will install this by default. It'd be interesting to see actually what is the pacman command, pacman list locally installed packages. List all explicitly installed -QE. So let's do this from inside the sandbox. I get a sense of what's installed. Inside the sandbox. Oh, well, not much actually. Pretty much nothing about what we just installed. But it's the explicitly though, right? So maybe if we remove E, it's not explicitly anymore. Right, so those are all the, I guess, transitive dependencies. And do we have something like the FFTW? Right, so searching here is not as straightforward. FFTW, we don't. So you know what, I'm going to just wait until we bump into the same issues, and also check whether we've actually, you know, solved the LLVM problem. And then we'll move on to maybe the other things, and maybe we'll install both the FFTW and the toolchain packages as well. But look at this. That sounds, well, it's not. Same error. Oh, hold on. Is that the same error? I'm not sure if it's really the same error. Dependency not loaded. It is the same error. That's not good. Oh, and also we do have this panic thing here. GHC version 883 for x86 unknown blah. The impossible happened. That's not good. So it's trying to load a .a. And I'm pretty sure we didn't have that problem when we were trying to build with Cabal. Oh boy. So that's a bit scary, right? Well, it's scary, but let's search for it and who knows, maybe. I mean, it is GHC 883, right? So, yeah. Could be that this has been fixed later and that we just have to, right, okay. .a would be, oh, is it an archive file? Load archive. 8.6, so a bit before us, but 64-bit Windows 10, that's good, that's similar to us. Error file corrupt. Error 13892. Error 1392. That's not what we have. We have error 127, which I think is the same error we were getting. Oh no, it's 126. Okay. So 126, I think, was was basically yeah, calling a 64-bit DLL with a 32-bit binary, I think. Oh, but I think there are maybe the same. No, hold on. 126 mean library is not found. Change the name. Can also mean that DLL being loaded relies on other DLL in the same folder. Oh. Oh, I didn't put any music on. Okay. So that's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, one thing we could do is LDD and see what this library is depending on. Aha, libffi6. Right, and one of the question is, where does stack install its stuff? And I think the answer to that is inside the .stack folder of the build, but I don't see it. Is that because it's in the git ignore? It is. So let's change that preference. And that's ignore or something. Ignore, highlight, and reveal. Editor management. No. New window, no. Explorer. Explorer. Okay, let's double check that we do have a dot stack. Yeah, we do. Okay, so I think it is, where is this function? Yes, code. Explorer show git ignored files or something like that. No, it is possible. Generated what? No, that's how do I sidebar fast start with dot git folder hidden fast exclude. Okay, so I need to check out the settings.json file. Is that what you're saying? Files exclude git false, so it's not excluding git. It's not excluding git. There are other excluding. There isn't. Is there a ignoring? There isn't. So yeah, that's already what we have, and file preference settings and oh, search use ignore file settings. So it's in search. So let's look again at the non-JSON ignore search. Use ignore files. All right. Hold on. Was it there and I didn't see it? I think that might be the case. Oh my god. Okay, I need to look at my stream now. I want to see whether I totally hallucinated or not. Hold on. I need this for my sanity. Okay. There is a way to replay, huh? But okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah. How do I? Oh, can't I rewind? Oh, I thought I could rewind. I think I need to be in the. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna look. So stack work is where we have supposedly installed the packages, but right. So we have bin here, lib. It could be that it's actually in the dot stack in the user folder. Dot stack. There is no such thing. But home June is not really our root. Not in dot stack then. So where? So stack exec dash. Where are we? We are here. And right, let's double check that. Yeah, we are here. And so, where does stack install its stuff? Okay, maybe that's in the stack docs. Here. Executable and libraries can be installed with Pacman. All tools can be found in the package list. List a command that with Pacman is also available. Just remember that Pacman should be started with stack. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. CMake has trouble finding other tools even if they're available on the path. Right, that's one thing we could check out is echo path. And that's the same path that as outside the oops, sorry about that. Outside the container, well, it's translated to Windows path. But apart from that, it's the same. I wonder whether that's going to break things. Maybe, in fact, it's... Can we specify which shell we're gonna use? Because, yeah, I think that... Let's see. Can we, in fact, use this path here? No, we can't. Yeah, there's this interpretation of backslash as an escape character. So okay, let's see, stack Windows bash. It's auto completion only. Huh. Okay, is that all we're gonna have? Developing on Windows. Is that the same thing we were looking at? Developing on Windows, it is. Home, we looked at this, install user guide. No, I don't think so. How do I get a working executable on Windows? You can do which? Oh, look, this path is like a proper path, but it's not. Okay, let's try stack exec which well, lib llvm.dll, for instance. Hey, it works when you do it like that, huh? I wonder whether we can modify the path and whether that would stick or not. Let's try. Stack exec dash and let's get our path incantation. And oh, right. Yeah, we shouldn't mangle the system path. So I think we need to do it like this. Path equal bum. Yeah, no, except that's it. Yeah, I'm not sure it was a good choice to move to Alacrity, to be honest, but yeah, what are you gonna do? I'm just a fan of new shiny things. Okay, so this, boy, yeah, and then this, and you're still not happy, and then this. I did not find executable at specified path. which one are you talking about right now? So stack exec echo path. Yeah, no, it doesn't change it. I think it looks like we're somehow inside a PowerShell when we're in, except that which works. I mean, I hope it's not like this dash dash thing. No. So there's something weird going on with the environment here. Ah, that's disappointing. Okay, let me check something. When we start a new Alacrity window, does it start with the same window star path or not? No, it doesn't. But if we start like PowerShell or something, and does echo even, is echo even a thing? Yeah. I don't even know how to do that. Get env or something. Or not. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Is this a mix of... It is a mix of directions. Some things are // something are // it's all over the place. Okay, can we do stack exec bash? Like if you were a container? We can. And then things are correct. Huh. And so if I exit, I'm back here. Oh, okay. So that's nice, actually. What can I do with that? What can I do with that? I can do LDD for liblrvm and see what's up. Right, so user bin is almost this, but it's not this. So the oh no, it is here. It is here. So what is the deal? Dealio, because this should have liblrvm.yll right there, right? It does. So what's up with the path? So what if I cabal build in here? Yeah, that might be a little bit much to ask. Like we really, I mean, I think it's actually possible to ask Stack to work from inside a container, a real container. Because right now, I don't, well, yeah, but except that I had problems running Docker on this Windows machine. Oh boy. So we can't run it like this. Can I inception here, but can I run stack? I can. Okay. that's a little bit strange. I mean, I expect it's going to fail at the same point, but maybe it's progress. It does fail at the same point. And I suppose the fact that we can, this is a reproduction of the bug, I suppose, right? Because if you say no such file directory here, then there's clearly something wrong with the path. And this is contradictory, isn't it? So this you are able to somehow figure out. We had a problem with this C standard library not being installed, so let me double check that it is there. So I picked the whole path. It is there. But we didn't install it with stack. So there's something going on with what is in this path. So in fact we should have it here, right? 95 blah bin. That's where things go. I don't have a .stack folder, I have a CSR folder somehow at the root. I see, yeah, go ahead, pollute my root C drive without asking me. So I suppose this is where things get installed here. What do we have in Snapshot then? Right, so we have some GHC libs and whatnot. Yeah, we have stuff in here, right? Okay, let me open this in let me add a new window here, a new workspace, a new folder in the workspace. And that's not it, but fine. CSR, that's the one. Yeah, if you can't read this, it's fine. I can't read it either. I'm just guessing. Okay, snapshots. So we have these 3 snapshots. They seem to be the same as the one that we had here, aren't they? The same addresses. 958B7. No, they're not. Okay, and so how many of those do we have? Only one. Which is a little bit suspicious. So there's another move here, which is to go for a later version of stack. No, I don't think that will solve our problem here. So let's confirm that we have things that look like LVM in places here. We don't actually. Could it be that maybe it's in setup? No. Pantry? No. So hold on. Was this Pacman thing FML? When I stack exec? No, because I did the -q, and that showed us lots of installed packages in what seem to be inside our build environment, unless of course that's in fact something that we need to have inside the stack.yaml file that we need to specifically add around there, which would, I guess, be, you know, configuration as code E, which is something we kind of want. So maybe just mutating. It's weird because let's look at this. I mean, executable in library can be installed with pacman. That's what they say, and we do stack exec, but visibly it's not sufficient. No matter which terminal you use, you can use this environment too by executing all programs through stack exec program. It sounds like what I did should work, right? Or could it, or is it just like a special case because I installed it with -u? I mean, it looked like the install went fine. Looks like the install went fine, but I still don't know where those packages are installed. So is there a command for pacman to say show install path? Display version, display file list -ql. Okay, -ql of this guy. Tons of stuff. But in slash, yeah, in slash bin, the LVM. So of course it's all in the lack of in this error that is the 127 or 126, and the fact that, yeah, I've seen the 126 error happen, and it was solved by this mismatch between 32-bit library and 64-bit libraries. But we haven't seen the 127 error, and that's the one we're getting here. So let's at least document that one. And let's try and get some more definitive answer regarding this error. An issue with the second parameter. It can't find the listed function in the specified DLL. No, hold on. This is dynamic symbol retrieval error, so that's a different error, right? Could not load. Yeah, there's a number of errors that can be 127 visibly. But it could be dynamic symbol retrieval, huh? That's not impossible. So what would cause, I mean, I suppose like a 64 to 32 binary, to 32-bit binary mismatch would maybe cause this. Let's see if we can find this error in the GHC code base. Oh, we can. Restack fails to build on 64-bit. Building GHC on Windows. A year ago. Let's see what we have here. 127. Nah. I see. It wasn't a full string search here. Runtime linker errors. A specified procedure could not be found. We don't have that level of detail from what we got, do we? We just get this panic and but it looks like a link. Is it a linking? It's compiling problem, right? And our VMA is type downcast. We don't exactly know what happens at step 13 or 14. Oh, that's an error when something's compiled with or ran with GHCI, so that's a bit of a different problem. Oh, here there is a could not load DLL. Okay. Extra symbols jump table. I suppose if we build with verbose, maybe we'll get more data. Whoa, a lot more data. A lot more data, but nothing about this specific, nothing more here. I suppose we need to ask to run GHC with some verbose flags, not stack. Profiling. GHC options. Not sure this is it. No, clearly not. Yeah, I think those are like the runtime stack GHC options. Build debug. It's not really debugging. GHC option equal. Okay. Minus V. No. Stack GHC. Oh, I think Right. I do exec, get a real GHC there. Yeah. -v. So in theory, it would work, but maybe I need to say -v. No, -v alone is equivalent to v3. Okay, so should I do v5 or 4? No, that doesn't do anything. Stack build GHC -v4 or something. Minus once GHC is installed. Okay. You can even use GDB in. Okay, let's try something. Let's try to install all these things that we had installed in our previous MSys2 and do -- needed so that we have a equivalent environment. Oh, everything is more or less up to date already, except libffi 331, which is very strange because I thought that that was one of the ones. Okay, pkg config. That's actually quite strange that that wasn't installed. And then libffi, I'm also really surprised because I thought that this was actually already installed as a dependency. So let's see, -q libffi 331 and the same version as well. And twice even. Could that be a problem? Oh, maybe that's a maybe. I mean, I would think that given that we went through all this trouble to install the 64-bit version, I would imagine that it would be careful to install 64-bit version of the packages, but now I feel like I have to check. Can we check with wget, for instance? Wget version. Built on MSys. It's not clear that it's 64-bit. Let's see the one we have outside of a stack. Well, first of all, it's like a much more, at least verbose version. It's still 123. How come? Oh, it's been built with a lot of different options, apparently. Oh, 64-bit. Let's find something that will have a DLL. and see if we can LDD to it in the path, because we couldn't. So libffi should actually have such. Well, and that's one that's available in both shapes. It's available here, presumably already installed by Stack, maybe. And then we installed it. I mean, we tried to install it manually. It actually told us that it couldn't. But when we installed, that's going to be too far back. When we installed, and I should take a note of that actually. When we did stack exec pacman minus s of the minus u of the tarball that we downloaded. No, not this one. No, this one. It installed libffi, so I'm surprised. Maybe it just doesn't have access to the same package registry. Aha, let's check that. Pacman show configured registries. We call them databases. Remotes. Okay, let's do pacman -- help and see if we can pick up a keyword that will be of use. Minus d db path. Alternate database location. Maybe minus s for sync. So that presumably synchronizes a remote database with a local database, no? The package. If you list a package in a repo, so it is called a repo. Show repo. How to know which repository does a package belong to? Custom local repository, non-specific. Oh, give me 1 second. All right. I am back trying to find how we can display which repository Pacman is installing from. To rsync. The packages from a list. Listing packages. That is so strange. A repository. Pacman repository. Section of pacman.conf. etc pacman-d mirror list. Okay. Okay, pacman.conf. Mirror list. Right, so there's 3 different type of sources. That's, well, really I'm treating this as if it's a container, but it's not. So if I look at the pacman-d, yeah, I bet you that it's overriding the list of, because what if we don't even have MSys2 installed outside? Then Stack installs MSys2 for us. And when we went in, we saw that there was tons of stuff inside the tons of stuff inside the path that was added by Stack. And yeah, if Pacman can tell us that. To Pacman hooks. Okay, well, let's backtrack on this. Actually, let's go in here, and I wanted to check whether libffi.dll was a thing. Let's just check whether it actually something like this exists. Libffi, it's 7. Interesting. Didn't we have a problem with that? And did we revert to 6 or something? I didn't take a note of that. Oh, bad German. Well, I didn't take a note of that. But fine, it's there, it exists. If we do libffi 7.dll, then it doesn't work. Yeah. But this works. Okay, so what about pkgconfig LVM or something? Where is it? Mod version. Pkgconfig. Yeah, mod version. Don't have LVM. How about liblvm? That's not a thing, is it? Not a thing, but libffi, that's a thing. It gets 3 to 1, so that it finds. Stuck we are. So it could be in the dependencies. I mean, how more opaque can you be, right? This is such a crappy error message. Okay, let's see if this thing exists though. That's supposedly in MVW64 lib LLVM. No way, there's can't be. Yeah, it's just one. It's an archive. Can we LDD this? No. But it's quite big actually. 47 megs. Is it consistent that it's an archive of what we find in bin here? Yeah. This has been worrying me also from the beginning, but the fact that we have a mix of 64 and 32 here. I suppose one way to find out whether that's the culprit, and then if that is the culprit, then we can try to find another solution, would be to uninstall the 64 version of LLVM that we installed here and find the 32-bit version and then see whether that makes the build pass. That would provide us with some additional information that currently we don't have. So let's see if this exists. No, here there's only the 32-bit version of things, I believe. So, sorry, the 64-bit version of things. No, everything is 64-bit here. Okay, are we side stack? How do I know this? By looking at the path. No, we're not inside stack. So let's go inside stack. And well, how about we do this? Okay, something strange is happening. Right. I see. So, don't know what I did there. I think I must have done some combination of commands that just made my terminal explode. Okay. Let's go back in Bash and right. We need to do our damn, we're not in the project, so we go into the project and then we have an environment now. We verify, we do, and then we then we do our little trick here. Do you see what I see? I mean, there is the chance that this is not the GHC that Stack uses. In fact, this is version 883, and this is version 884. So no, so we know that it is the one that GHC uses, and it's not, what I see is that it's not 64-bit. So I'm not sure why we're not finding the same problem that we found in the other pathway where we had this. I mean, maybe it's, 126, 127 is actually same side of the, a different side of the same coin somehow. I mean, it's strange because I think that with the Cabal setup, we did build accelerated LLVM, I'm pretty sure. How do I check that? If I don't want to rebuild everything, I suppose that, I mean, I think we were already doing LLVM, accelerated LLVM PTX. Hold on, did we avoid building accelerated LLVM, or was that the CPU version that we ended up in fact not building? Yeah, that was another. Yeah, that's we're at the same point here, but that we have here this NVVM 64. We can't load at compile time. So that's possible because if you remember, one of the things that I did was to create a Cabal project file which set a number of flags to avoid building anything but the NBody simulation so that we didn't have to deal with the LLVM on CPU path. So it could be that I simply haven't reproduced that, and that puts us in a situation where we are actually having our pathways are not similar. We're not solving the same thing. So let me see if I can add those. How would I add those flags to the stack? A YAML file. Override default flags. It's not GHC options. Oh. Well, I suppose. No, yeah, see, I think that it's the native package that is the CPU one. PTX is for sure the Cuda one, but I suppose both depend on the LLVM one. And so I suppose that if I looked inside this new style build, maybe I would find that. Huh. I'm surprised not to find accelerated LLVM in here. So it could be that, yeah, that it's what I'm saying, but I'm surprised that it's building LLVM PTX without building LLVM. Let's try and clarify this. It's the LLVM IR generation. Following external library are also required. Oh, actually libffi is only needed for native. Oh. Okay, another way to see this is here. Yeah, it depends on it. So I'm surprised not to find it here. Why would it just be missing somehow? Like, would it be a small mistake in the in the stack file, or the cabal file. Did we have a cabal file from the get-go? Huh, I never even looked at this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised here. Oh, because no, there is no cabal file inside the examples. Okay, just for my sanity here, I need to ensure or check that there is a cabal file in the original repo. And there is, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And so in which case will it be considered by stack? Or will it not? The small things that I don't know. Quick summary of stack versus cabal file. A project can have multiple packages. Each project has a stack file. Each project has a cabal file. Cabal file specifies which packages are dependencies. The stack specifies which packages are available to be used. And cabal specifies the components module and build flags. Stack override the flag setting for individual packages. Yeah. Yeah, so then the question is, is my cabal project file used or not? And I think the answer to that is probably not. Stack build uses cabal.project. I think it doesn't. Why not both? Project. Listing where to find the .cabal file for multi-package build, additional constraint flags optimization, .local, yeah. Stack uses .cabal, encourages users to write package.yaml files. Much like cabal project, it is ignored by package. This doesn't tell me what I need to know, but I suspect that that stack doesn't look at cabal.project, and so that we need to set the flags here, but I don't know how to set the flag with this syntax here. So let's look at actually maybe also we can do cabal.project search in the stack documentation. Okay, and flags then. Number of other flags set for each package separately. Specifying flags, syntax of the flag field for the configuration. I see. Flags, package name, flag name, true. Right, I see. So here I think we're saying the flag for package, package what? package example or package accelerate NBody, is it? Is that considered a package? Can I do stack build accelerate NBody? Does this exist? No, because it's not a package. So accelerate examples is the package, right? Yes. So we say to stack accelerate examples, and then we have to convert this into saying GUI false, KG false, and so on. PTX is true. SVM is false. Crystal is false. Tone is false. Okay, and body is true. And I think the rest is false. Let's see if we've got this package thing right, and we can just stack. I'm outside now, yeah, so stack build. Uh, 0 out of 3, so it is building less things, so I think that's good, but we're probably gonna have the same error, but we don't. What? No, we did, but later? No, same place. Okay. Hallucination. Bum, bum, bum. So that was what was run. And this is the GHC that's being used. Right, yeah, you don't like this path. Fine, let's so these go into setup.exe cache. Huh. Alright. Oh, that's just Cabal. I see. Okay, so does this mean we were tricked when we thought that stack would give us a 64-bit binary? In fact, it is not. Let's see. I think it's in commercial Haskell GHC releases, isn't it? I think that's where it picked its Windows build from. Yeah, that's where those builds are, but I think this means this is 32-bit. So I mean, yeah, another pathway is to just make everything 32-bit. But why aren't there some 64-bit version of GHC for Windows? GHC 64-bit Windows. I think we searched for this last time, but I do not understand why they stopped. Is it just a matter of that they don't have the machines, they're not interested anymore? So yeah, to version. Right, so those are the two methods that we saw. Stack, setting the host GHC and tools. Host GHC binary is required for bootstrapping. Right. Pre-built GHC into Minx W64 or Minx W32. So does this mean that we could bootstrap, we could try to compile the 64-bit version Okay, so this does get the what looks like a 32-bit version, but with the 64-bitness. Places everything within your directly into the target directory. And yes, I am thinking about compiling GHC. That's something I've never done. And I think a wannabe Haskell developer probably needs to compile GHC once in their life, don't you think? Go export profile. Echo M system. I like that. Echo M system. Uh-oh. Wow. I'm surprised, actually. Really surprised. Maybe I screwed up something, in fact, in my environment that I didn't realize. Hey, what? Do not use the MSys2 shell shortcut. Did I make this mistake? Well, in any case, this is probably quite important, and I don't seem to be set up. I mean, Stack seemed to have set me up in what seemed like it should be the proper environment. But then it's failing. But then it means that we don't have anything that's it's not comparable anymore. I mean, GHC version is slightly different, but I don't think this is what we're bumping into right now. I think what we're bumping into is that even though I thought we were in the right environment here, we were not. So how do I fix that? There was a link there, right? Launch. Right. So there are specific shortcuts for these shells, and I must have looked at the wrong one. Okay, let's try and find these. So my start menu, that's going to be off screen. Sorry for that. Can't even find this. I think it's in the, yeah, it's gone onto the C folder, right? Yeah, tools, MC64. That's where it is. And then, right, where is my Alacrity? Alacrity config was, oh, that's nothing. I think I took a note of this in my log, so I should be able to find it. If I go here, Alacrity, yes, msys bash. Right, so I haven't really written any more about this. I did not. Right, so that's what we're starting with, but that might simply not be the right bash to start with. Tools MC4 user bin, right? Yeah, let me put this on screen here. So here is where I think, what I think we can consider the shortcuts, not exactly the shortcuts. What's in these ini files? The definition of the M system. So these are the entry points. Yeah, and that's the shell launcher, and that's what is being talked about right there. The shell launchers. Except that in my Alacrity config, I'm actually not using any of those. So this might be actually wrong. Because user bin bash is in the root folder here, right? User bin bash. But there is also a Minji W64 folder with its own bin and no bash though. And I think I tried to start Alacrity with one of these, and it didn't work. Let's try and see what this gives us. If we start with this shell instead, let go of Alacrity for now. Then we say msystem here. We have what we want. And do we have a GHC here? We don't. And that's because our path is set up kind of in a row manner, but maybe that's where we want to start from again. And maybe this whole thing where we were installing GHC with Shoko and then putting Shoko in the path, maybe that's also part of the problem. Okay, let's try and follow these instructions, because these look like, at least, well, it was updated 3 months ago by actually Tamar Christina, who was on some of these issues. Yeah, right there, working on Windows related issues there for 3 years and still updating this. So definitely pretty current. Setting up MSys2 directly, download and run. So that's what we're doing here. And then, right. And does this mean now that our home, well, we have a bash profile. Well, that's so much better. So indeed we, well, but let's see. Yeah, but the correct 64/bin is on the path, so we're good. We don't need to change that. We can check what's in our bash profile. Its source is bashrc. Let's see what's in bashrc. Just a bunch of commented out things. Okay. Right, so we want this Windows 64 variant of tools to get priority and, you know, triple check, but we have that. We have this first. So that sounds good. So we don't do via stack, and then we upgrade packages. Oh boy, right. We're going to have copy pasting issues here, but okay, we synchronize the package database, why not? And then install GHC dependencies, and then install the GHC. So we probably install the GHC first. I mean, synchronizing packages is always good, I suppose. Yeah, those are the 3 mirrors that, or the 3 repos that we saw. And that's going to update some packages, looks like. So sure, do so. Patch version 5, file system, new mirrors. Yep, sounds good. And then we'll skip the build tools and we'll get the host GHC, and we see whether we can do things with that. Is that because we are updating the info directory file? Complete this update. Ah, yeah, sure, fine. Close the terminal. And yeah, except I close my Explorer, so I'll get back into that. And well, let's okay, let's do these things. We don't have certs. CA certificates, okay. Wow, it's really bare bones. It's supposed to be here, but certificate problem. Okay, C pass none. Is it curl hasn't been installed properly? I mean, which curl are we using? You don't have which anymore? You do? But, okay. Oh, there was some space or some weird characters here, and well, maybe RW get instead. How about that? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then extract that in the 64 folder. Is that going to be is this just going to be JC883 folder and directly in this? Okay. I don't mind. I mean, so what I'll do is that LDD this, and then, I mean, what I expect is it's going to tell me the same thing that what stack, when we were, stack exec bash, and we LDD'd it, and it seemed to be linking to 32-bit binaries, 32-bit libraries. Which, in fact, to be honest, I don't even necessarily know whether that's enough of a telltale that it's a 32-bit library, but I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, so we do the tar things. tape 0. What? Is it this copy pasting that's actually -J? Let's see, I'm going to type it. Components. And can you, I'm not going to type this. Aha. That's what. And actually BSD tar. But this should be enough, right? Maybe not. Okay, that's a different one, but still doesn't work. Okay, let's try this. Control insert. Oh boy. Yeah, when it's piped from curl or whatever you get, and it's not the same. Okay. And so that's the only thing we'll do, and then we'll stop here because it's already almost, we're coming on to 2 hours of stream already. And yeah, not a lot of progress. Windows is so painful. I've got to confess that in the middle of the stream, I was absolutely thinking about the Ubuntu partition that I started setting up with Streamlabs, and it's becoming more appealing every day. But then trying to build GHC there's something. Let me check that this is working, by the way. If there is a task. Yeah, BSD tar 3%. Okay, it's doing something. Very slowly, in fact. Yeah, so yeah, we could build GHC. Okay, let's go check out what this has created. Okay, so did it create this in bin? No. Okay, well, where did you decompress this thing? Oh, was it? in this place? No. I mean, mystery. Oh, GHC83 is right there. Oh, so it was just a perfect. Do we have GHC here? Yeah, we do. Oh, wow. Okay. So GHC minus version, and that's 83. And then LDD GHC. That's not gonna work. That's fine. We do LDD which GHC, and looks like the same to me. Yeah. And do we have Cabal install? We don't. So what's this instruction then? Supposed to be using Alex and Happy that can be installed with Cabal install. Ah, okay, right. Like there's another similar instruction to get Cabal install as well. I see. That's to get things to build. And well, before I get down this path, so I'm gonna make a note for next time. Right, this is not the right place. This is our more recent one. Yeah. So we basically we came back here with the proper MC64 launcher. So maybe I should have it as a different entry. I think we confirmed that GHC is a 32-bit binary. That pre-built GHC is a 32-bit build. Yeah. So just going to confirm that this stack pathway is blocked because of this Win32 error 127, and here we blocked because of a Win32 error 126. Hey. So if the idea is that those are because of the 32-bit, 60-bit incompatibilities, then our options are let go of 64-bit and try and do everything with 32-bit versions, or build GHC in 64 bits. And so I guess we want to first find out whether is that even possible. On Windows. Because the fact that that wouldn't be distributed on the releases is a bit strange. I suppose we could also we could download a more recent, where we could do several things. We could download a more recent GHC build and LDD to see what's up. But also we could download an old version from the Haskell platform that seemed to have, in its archives at least, the prior releases, seem to have Windows 64-bit versions there. So they're a bit old, but we could compare them. That might be useful. And we could even try to build, but to be honest, I mean, 8.6 to 8.8, we might not be able to. You know, if I mean, let me check again in the stack. Oh, there was an 8.6 stack version there. So that's an idea, right? We could. It means that if we installed this, we looked at the LDD and sort of confirmed that, oh yeah, actually, you know, clearly those the thing we downloaded before were in fact 32-bit, and it's possible to have a GHC in 64-bit. It's just that nobody builds it. Then we could, instead of starting to build right away, we could also decide to try and build the accelerate examples with those package versions that are for Haskell 8.6, and who knows, maybe we'll have more success there. And you know, if both are true, if there is such a thing as a GHC 64-bit and we haven't yet gotten our hands on one, so, and that in fact with the 8.6.5 we do get our hands on one, and that we can build an older version of the project, then it would actually make sense to start building on 64-bit version of GHC. And you know, I know that I said that in the middle, I was in the middle of the stream, I thought, oh my God, maybe we should, and I'm going to make a note of this, switch to Ubuntu. And I think maybe next time we'll define a red line, a point where maybe, you know, maybe 10 streams. So today was the 8th stream. So if we don't fix it at the end of the 10th stream, then we switch to Ubuntu. That's the decision. Okay. If we don't fix it by the end of the 10th stream, we switch. All right. So we have, yeah, 2 more streams and to fix this. So I might do some of this offline, just to gain a little bit more time, especially if we do, you know, GHC builds and whatnot. So we won't include that time, you know, into it. But yeah, that's the decision, and that's it for this stream. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your patience. And I will see you tomorrow for some pure script, like we do on Wednesdays. All right. Take care and bye-bye.